What is up, you guys? This is All Day Any Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you an overview video for The Witch. So, The Witch is at first I was a little confused on how it worked, but it's not that difficult to play as. It's actually a really fun class, a fun AoE type class. The damage output that The Witch has is pretty high, actually. On some of the abilities are high, but I would say overall it's a above good, but it's a little under great. So I would say it's like an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, like a 7.5 out of 10 on the damage scale. The attack speed on the Witch also is pretty decent. It's not too bad, it's not too slow, it's not too fast. The durability on the Witch as well, kind of like the survivability for the Witch, is decent. You don't really get a shield or anything. You can keep enemies in place with the circle button, or I'm pretty sure that's B on Xbox, but it's a pretty long cooldown. I don't remember if it's an AoE ability, but I know it works pretty well on the smaller targets, not bosses. Obviously, it won't work on bosses, unfortunately. The stances that the Witch has, it doesn't work the same way as the monks or the gunners or the archers. You can't just use it whenever. The way it works is you have to build up stacks. I think it just depends, like 1, 2, or 3. But the way those stacks work is when you have to use your R2 button, R2, your basic attack, on the enemy, and you'll notice that they'll get stacks. It'll say 1, 2, or 3 on them, on the enemy that you're aiming on. And the enemy that you're aiming on, when you use R1, which is to switch your stance, you can use any of those abilities, the square, triangle, circle, or R2 ability, whenever you switch your stance. And then whenever you use that ability, it'll take those stacks away, and then you'd have to just rebuild those stacks. It's not hard to build those stacks up anyways, and it's pretty easy when you once you get used to it. Another really good thing about the Witch is you want to build those stacks up, and then you want to use square, and then you use triangle. The triangle button will summon a bunch of crows around that enemy that you targeted, but when you use square before it, or I believe it's X, yeah, when you use X or square, X for Xbox I mean, or square for the PlayStation, and then you use the birds or the crows, then it'll let the crows last a lot longer and do more damage to that enemy and the enemies around, and it'll increase the size too from those crows. I'm not exactly sure what L2 square does and L2 triangle, I kind of forgot, but L2 circle, it's either L2 circle or L2 triangle, or also for Xbox it would be L2B or L2Y. One of those mesmerizes your enemies, and they don't fight for you, but they don't attack you either. They just follow you, but they'll have hearts on them, and it's pretty good when you're getting overwhelmed by enemies. It'll just let them follow you. Like, it's not a follower, but they won't do any damage to you, so that's really useful to have. And then your ultimate or your signature, whatever you want to call it, on L2R1, that's going to summon a bunch of crows going straight. It's going to pierce through enemies, and what is it? You're standing in one spot. You can't turn around when you're using it, so make sure you have a good angle. And it's a good damage dealer too. It does nice rapid damage, or burst damage, I suppose. The next thing would be, is this character or this class good against trash mobs or single targets? And I'm gonna say yes, it's good against trash mobs, and it's also good for single target, or at least decent for single target, like bosses. Or, yeah, I would say about good. for single targets. The reason why I'm saying it's good for trash mobs is because you have pretty much all AoE abilities, and then the reason why I'm saying it's good for single target is because the single target damage that you have it's a lot of it's single target, and you can do more damage against single target when you build up your stacks and then just keep that rotation going between your regular staff and your other staff. I don't know the different stance names. And then also that means your crows can stay out longer, dealing damage to the enemy. And then next, the last thing is for PvE and PvP. So I haven't really played a lot of PvP with the witch, but the times I have, I didn't really enjoy it as much. So I'm just gonna give it a decent for PvP. Like, I don't think it's the best in my opinion. For PvE, I really enjoyed playing the witch and PvE content. I was enjoying it in the distortions, in the 5-mans, 10-mans, and whatnot, and just leveling up my class abilities. I was enjoying that as well, just, you know, unlocking new classes. So I would say in PvE the witch is fun, really good to play. Overall, the witch is a pretty good character, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and let the rest of the video go on. And yeah, so this is all they want on the PS4. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day, good night, and peace.